Hello, flower friends. This is Jen, and I'm so excited to talk to you today about the 10 things someone, meaning you, could do to really glow up your health, business, and self in 2025. It is now 3 weeks into 2025, and I'm just wondering, where are you at for all of these big things when January 1st, when the clock hit midnight and it was a new year and you're like, I'm going to do this. This is going to be my year. Where are you at with all of those big dreams, excitement, like all of those ambitions? Like, where are you truly at? Because most people do not make it past the end of January with any of those goals. 98%, I think, was the stat that I saw recently. 98% of people are not making it past the end of January. So if this is you, I get it because everybody's been there. Everybody's been like, I'm going to change my life and all this momentum and all these big things are happening. And all of a sudden you're like, shit, the kids got sick. Like this month, the germs have been real at school, and I have heard so many people struggling with being sick themselves or being, having sick kiddos. School has been off like the last 2 days. Last week I had my workshop and I had all these other things like things can fall to the wayside, but during all of this, because I have set out such a clear plan with my weekly planning session that I choose to prioritize my glow up in 2025. And my glow up is an ongoing glow up. I don't even call it a glow up because it is my life. This is how I, as the CEO in my life and business, run my life to make sure that I'm being healthy. Like with all of the bugs that have been going around, like my daughter had like the pukey ickies. My son got the flu. I did not get sick because I truly feel like because I am taking, obviously germs are germs and germs can just get you sick. But I take such good care of myself that I help thwart off getting those germs because my body is in a good place. My mind is in a good place. Anytime any kid gets sick, I am taking, and I'm giving you a little funny thing, but I take an emergency and I take Alka-Seltzer Cold, the like little tablets, and I drink that like several times. I'll have like 3 or 4 of those for an extra burst of like just whatever's in those. My dad, who had COPD and tons of lungs issues, anytime that he felt like a cold coming on, he would just take that combination and like it would help him. So I've just been doing it, and I cannot remember the last time I was actually sick. I think it was years ago since I started really making myself the healthiest version of myself. So if you have fallen off the wagon, guess what? You can get back on. You can get back on your horse. You can get back on your motorcycle. You can get back on whatever right now. So how do you do that? Like, how do you get the momentum to do that? And the first things I want to talk about is your sleep. I am making 2025 the year of me fixing 2 things with my health that have been kind of lingering, and that is my posture and my sleep. So I'm actually this week going to be having a sleep study. I met with a sleep specialist, and I know that me not getting sleep, and I know that like when I hear people joke like that I'm messaging, responding to emails, doing all these things in the middle of the night, that they're saying like they admire that I'm working so hard, or they admire my tenacity, they admire like my drive, but like I just can't fucking sleep. And that is like fundamentally the problem. So that's what I know. If I want to really optimize my health long term, that this is something that I need to fix. And I've never slept well. So me fixing it is part of my continued glow up, or could be your start of your glow up. And I use a Whoop. So Whoop is a fitness tracking app that helps me keep track of basically my battery. Like, I often, because I'm working out, chasing after children, doing a wedding, doing whatever, it has like almost like this strain level and what you recharge your battery at when you sleep. And I often am like recharging my battery to like 50%, 60%. And I know that I can push through just because of the human I am, but long term, that's not a great fix. So I've been trying to figure out, I've been wearing blue light glasses and my husband thinks they're hot. So it was also kind of counterproductive, if you guys know what I mean. But I'm wearing blue light glasses and I'm trying to mitigate that blue light. I already take Ambien to help me sleep, but she recommended taking like a 1 milligram melatonin, and like that has seemed to be helping a lot. So like you should be getting 7 to 8 hours of sleep. I'm getting like sometimes 5 to 6. And so that change when I have been able to get more sleep, like I have felt so much more restored, so much more on top of it, so much more energy. And you should be looking at like, where are you even at? Because I didn't even really know what I was sleeping until I started tracking it. So what you don't track, you can't measure. And so maybe it's time for you to invest in some type of wearable technology. The Whoop is something that I have had really good luck with. All right. Upgrade your nutrition. So I have been a vegetarian since I was 10 years old. So I'm 45. So this has been a long term thing. So I've always fundamentally not been one of those people that like just, I'm eating a big juicy steak and big juicy like whatever. But I do really like cheese and I do really like vegetables. But, like, some of those things were not. I used to actually drink regular Mountain Dew, not Diet Mountain Dew. I was drinking when I actually figured it. I met with somebody to try to figure out a plan to start losing weight. I was drinking 1,600 calories of Mountain Dew a day. But unless you step back and look at that, you don't know what you're doing. So that is super critical. Then you need to think, okay, am I eating, and this is one of the big things that I'm focusing on right now, is protein. I have a ARIA scale, which I also have a Fitbit. Fitbit has been sold to Google. So I have my old Fitbit and it still works, but it has a scale that I literally can track my body fat percentage. And even if my weight is staying consistent, like I know if I'm gaining more muscle because it shows me what my body fat percentage is. And I'm not someone who's hyper focused on like what the scale says, but periodically it's nice to understand. Like recently I checked and my body fat percentage has went down 1.5%, which likely means my muscle mass, because I've been working on building muscle at CrossFit, has helped grow and shrink the fat that's on my body. So some things that I do to really help kind of charge my protein consumption is having protein options that are fast and easy, especially because I'm an on the go kind of girl. So there's some really delicious, and these are in my Amazon store, one protein bars. Like there's a cookie dough one. I absolutely love it. I also love to have just like some shake options that I can make a shake really quick. Right before I came out here, I had some apple slices with peanut butter on them. I had one of those really yummy protein bars earlier. Like I try to have something in my purse because you can make really bad decisions when you're on your way home from getting flowers and you ate breakfast, but it's 1:30 and you haven't ate yet and you drive by McDonald's. It's really easy to make bad decisions, but I know if I have that protein bar or if I have 100-calorie thing of nuts in my purse or some type of like higher protein, yummy snack, that it's so much easier to grab for that snack. Like today, I've had my protein bar, I had those apple slices, I've had a Greek yogurt with a little bit of honey on it with some berries and a keto granola on it and some blueberries on there too. And so, like, I know that I've gotten a good amount of protein in and that it's been really delicious and yummy. And I don't feel like I've missed out because I've also like made my yogurt really pretty, which having something visually look good just has helped me want to actually eat it. So if you are struggling with that, just like think how much of what you're eating has been through a bunch of processing and like lasts a long time because of all the chemicals in it. Think about how you could eat things that haven't been processed, like a salad, or, how could you eat some eggs, or like how could you incorporate things that make you feel good? And there are things like if you are like not a lot of food feels good, you should get a food allergy test. I did the Everywell one, and I found out I was, like, allergic to bamboo shoots, like, these crazy things that I had no clue of, but it was interesting. It said I was allergic to chicken, which I'm like, yeah. I've been a vegetarian so long, I no longer have the proteins to digest meat. So, it's funny because if I get for some reason I eat something I didn't notice there was meat in it, I've had full out food poisoning from it, which is never fun. All right. Thing number 3, and this you guys have heard me talk about, is developing a movement routine. And if it is like you're going to get a walking treadmill to have meetings on, or while the kids are watching TV or they're doing homework at the table, that is something that you should do. I know it's like $150, but for you to get your body moving is so critical, not only for your health because your body needs movement, but like the mental, almost like fitness that you are putting yourself through and sticking to these things is invaluable. Like I do my planning of my workouts on Sunday when I'm doing my Sunday night prep and I'm looking at my week and I'm laying out my week for success. And that helps me so much be successful in making sure. And then I'm putting it on the family calendar so everybody knows mommy's at CrossFit too. So you have the power to do those same things and start to prioritize you. I often talk about you cannot build a business on an empty cup. And so you need to build in movement as part of filling your cup. All right. One thing that I think always helps is making sure you're drinking enough, making sure you're drinking enough water. Things that staying hydrated really helps with is, for one, like you're less likely, I think, when you have been consuming water to eat less. If you are trying to watch, like maybe get fitter, or you're trying to be more toned, or you're trying to lose body fat, or you're trying to gain muscle, whatever you're trying to do, if you are trying to make watching what you eat a priority, whatever it is, I think it really helps to drink enough water. I also love to drink like a herbal tea or something like that that doesn't have a lot of calories adding to it. And I feel like I'm still getting water in some way. Another thing that changed for me in 2024 and I'm bringing into 2025, and I actually have never really liked drinking alcohol. I come from a family of alcoholics, my mom, my dad, and there's a lot of like trauma and grossness around alcohol mentally for me, but I really don't like how it feels. I feel like kind of woozy, icky, and like even when I have one, like I also get like really flushed in my face and in my nose, and I don't like how it feels. So I think if you are someone who drinks, like, just think about what would it be like if for a month you didn't drink anything and you just saw how you felt, or like a week even, or I mean, there are some people that a day is hard. And if something is to that point that a day is hard, as someone who's come from like so much grossness around um alcoholism, like it is never too late to ask for help. And it is never too late to get help. It is never too late to do something. So if that is a struggle, like I totally hear you on that because I have seen those struggles and I want better for you. I want better for your family. I want better for your business. And sometimes like that takes tough decisions. All right. The next glow up item is mental health maintenance. And a lot of people think that going to therapy or engaging in some type of, talking about your problems or whatever doesn't feel good. It's not necessary. It feels like, you know, just a lot to put yourself out there like that. Talking to somebody and getting a third party perspective on what's going on with you to me is so invaluable because you only have your thought patterns, your past experiences, your kind of mindset. And so having another person who, on top of it, is potentially trained on helping navigate difficult situations, grief, if for some reason you're in an unhealthy relationship, like whatever it is, like that person is trained to help you. I had really seen in a lot of my coaching clients, like that there wasn't just a business problem. And that's why I became a life coach because I really want to make an impact. And I know that having your life in order needs to happen for you to have a business that really is going to do what you want it to do. So I go to therapy. I don't find anything wrong with having that third party. I mean, we go to a parenting coaching person for our daughter that has autism. Like we engage in making sure that we have coaches or therapists or whatever that are going to support that next level version of ourselves and help us just be better, the best that we can at what we're doing. And so if you don't have someone, it's so easy to find someone right now. And if you're like, I don't want to go onto a full on therapist, like I would love to do life coaching with you and business coaching kind of at the same time to see if we can get those in alignment. And if you're interested in that, you can go to thefloralhustle.com/coaching. But I think that when you are really taking care of yourself mentally, then you wanna take care of yourself physically. You wanna take care of your like, just everything in a different way, and I want that for you. So, like, think about what have you been doing to help really enhance your mental health because it is so important. All right, let's go to business, and I think part of your glow up, if you are not a goal setter, now is the time. If you have not set 2025 goals, there are several episodes all about setting 2025 goals. And I did an episode of what I was leaving behind in 2024, like really diving into what you want, because that's where the momentum to start to attract what you want happens. So set bold goals, break them down into quarterly milestones and track your progress regularly. That's when you know success is happening and you can see those gentle nudges going along because without any goals, you have nothing to shoot for. So you don't know if you're succeeding and you don't know if you're doing the right things because you're not measuring anything. So if you want 2025 to be different, you need to set goals that make sense. That's how your glow up is going to happen. All right. The next one in business is investing in learning. And you guys are probably like, oh, here she goes again about investing in yourself. Like, that's what changed everything for me. Taking courses, attending workshops, attending a conference, hiring business coaches. I mean, I've had 3 different business coaches that I worked with one-on-one. I've been in 4 masterminds. I mean, the amount of courses that I bought is crazy. Like, I seriously invest, and that investment has paid dividends every time. I've never gone, should I be doing that? Like, if it's not a fuck yes, I'm not going to do it. And I've had like only one experience that I was like, this probably wasn't for me. And it was like a year-long mastermind. But everything else, I've been like, I've gotten a nugget out of it. And that nugget has been worth that investment. So if you are looking, like, I don't even know, I got a DM today. I don't even know where to invest. Like, what feels good to you? What do you want to learn? A lot of people are like, I want to take a course on floral. I'm like, to learn what? Because if you don't know what you want to learn, it's really hard. Like, what's going to bring your business to the next level? And without really understanding that, it's going to be really hard to make decisions you're going to feel good about because you don't know, like, is this going to support that goal? And I mean, I have the Florist Foundations course that is like a kind of start to finish, all inclusive. It's got so much content in it that could pretty much touch on anything from design to starting your business to how to even get a trademark to whatever. And that is something that I feel like if that's what you need, great. But if you need some design videos, great. If you need to want to learn installations, go to an installations workshop. Sometimes hands-on is invaluable. But if you're just looking for like, I just want guidance, I want that one-on-one support, the Floral CEO Mastermind is the place to be because this is where it is a container for you to ask me questions. It is training, it's life coaching. It's gonna in February, we're actually retooling it to add even more value with adding like every single thing that's kind of a key fundamental in your business is going to be on demand access for you whenever you need it. All the templates that I use in my business, it's going to be amazing. So if you want to check that out, it is the floral hustle.com/mastermind. All right. Then if you are really wanting to glow up your business, you need to start networking. Networking has been one of the biggest, most impactful things that I have done in my business. And if you are not networking, your business is going to stay very slow crawl of growth. So you can go to networking events. You can network on Instagram. You can network at a wedding when you're setting up. You can network in so many places. And so if you are stuck and like that feels uncomfortable, whatever, like what does feel comfortable? Send somebody a postcard that says, "Hi, I'm a florist and I offer whatever." And maybe they bite on it. And it's cheap. It's such a cheap investment that it's so worth us stepping out of our comfort zone to mail a postcard that says, "Hey, we have this offering and we would love to tell you about it." So grow your network. If you want to glow up your business, you glow up your network. I always one of the masterminds that was in, they always said your network is your net worth. And like think about that. Your network is your net worth. So if you have a small network, like your business is small. If you have a large network, like I mean, I have a huge network of flower friends, of wedding professional friends, etc., that it makes it so much easier for me to get business because there's people that are thinking of me and keeping me top of mind. All right, the next thing from a business perspective, and you guys will see big things coming soon for this brand, is really refining your brand. If your brand, your name even feels stagnant, change it. Don't like spend so much time that it's ridiculous. But if it doesn't feel good, you can always change it. I changed my business name after 17 years. I changed my graphics. I like numerous times over those years with my old business name. And I like truly love my branding right now. So I don't want to change it. I love it for my floral business. But for the Floral Hustle, like I have some big things cooking that make my brand feel so much more aligned than ever. So, is your brand aligned with the person that you want to attract, or is it aligned with the person that you used to want to attract, because that is the key to growth. I want big, big growth for you. And if you're stuck in, I don't want to change it, like, it's okay, it's fine. Like, you deserve more than fine. You deserve to be fucking fantastic. Like, I want you to love your branding. All right, the next is, this is part of really your glow up of yourself, is establishing daily rituals that help you set you up for success. So, if that is a skincare routine that makes you just feel good, like, do things that feel good. If you suck at taking your vitamins and your all your different pills or whatever, make it part of your Sunday night prep to prepare all those. That becomes a daily ritual. You have them all together. It's easy to take them. Um, if you have not read Atomic Habits, this is a great book that talks about habit stacking. Habit stacking is layering one habit with another. So for example, every time that you brush your teeth or you go in the bathroom, uh, to brush your teeth or to do whatever in the bathroom, you also wash your face, or you also apply a little bit of lip gloss or chapstick because your lips are chapped. Like, layering one habit with another so they're just naturally feeding into each other helps you establish these habits that will support this next level version of yourself. And these rituals also can be things about the way you talk to yourself. Like, in the morning, when you wake up, you're like, I am so badass. Like, so many good things are happening for me. Today is going to bring more goodness, and I am so excited about today. That's a lot better than, like, God, I'm ready for the shit show that's called Tuesday. You deserve to, like, love your life and walk out of your bedroom in the morning going, I'm ready to kick ass and take names. All right. Investing in your appearance is the last one that I want to touch on. And actually, we're going to touch on two more. Uh, I love, and this seems probably silly, but I love, like, when I wear matching bra and underwear from Victoria's Secret. And after I've lost this weight, I went in and I don't even care if it's nude. Like, if it's a nude, cute nude, like, demi bra and I'm wearing matching panties to it that are the same kind of lycra-y fabric and the same tone color, like, I just feel better. I just, it's like I have my shit together down to my unders. And what is that for you? Because I also, like, I live, if you're watching this on YouTube, I live in workout clothes. And living in workout clothes, like, I have bought nicer workout clothes that don't look like I'm a homeless person. Even though homeless is a vibe too, of course. It was so funny. I had somebody DM me and it was like a picture or something, and they were like, ignore the homeless vibes. And I was like, it looks like you are working out. Good for you. But I invest in my appearance. Like, I have a regularly scheduled hair color appointment. And yes, I am not a natural redhead. So, like, I have to go in because the longer I wait, the more vibrant when they touch up my roots and it looks not natural. So, like, that is a regular thing for me. I I probably once every couple weeks log on to modboutiquevw.com. They have the cutest flower shirts, cutest flower earrings, especially if you go on there right now, if you're listening to this in present time. It is so cute. And I love to go on there. It makes me feel good to have, like, a really cute flower shirt with some matching flower earrings. Like, that makes me feel better. And that's what matters, is empowering you to feel radiant and to feel like your best version of yourself. Because that's what's going to make you glow up. If you start to feel externally you've glowed up, then internally that glow up is going to start to seep in. All right, last one. And this is something that I have worked so hard on to do, but it's celebrating wins. Like, step back and be like, what have I done? Maybe you've launched your business. Maybe you've done your first wedding. Maybe you've done your first 10 wedding. Maybe you hit 100K. Maybe you did this really funky, really cool design that you're so proud of. Whatever it is, like, celebrate it. And if you have a partner that is just not great at that, tell him, hey, I really would love to celebrate like this big milestone thing that happened. And I'm wondering if we can go on a date, or I'm wondering if we could do whatever. Like, that will help you really, for one, like, bask in like what you've accomplished. So I think that you have a deeper like respect and insight into what you have actually accomplished, instead of going, God, I suck. Nothing is happening right. I mean, which is not a good way to talk to yourself in general. But once you change that narrative and start celebrating wins, when you see that win happening and coming, like, you just feel it more. And I want 2025 to feel good for you. I want it to be full of wins. I want it to be full of things that just feel really good for you. And this is how you do it. You got to celebrate a little bit. But that was my 2025 things to do if you want to glow up your business and your life in 2025. And I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you so much for listening, flower friend, and you have an amazing flower filled day.